Hey, welcome back, friends. It's Rob Z coming at you yet again. I hope you're not sick of this face and voice yet. Okay, I hope you've been enjoying the series on tasks and goals. The feedback I've been getting in the comments have been amazing. I'm mostly getting a kick out of how many people literally reached out to me and said, oh my gosh, everything on my goals list is actually just a task and I gotta reevaluate everything. Hey, good to know now rather than years down the road when you're struggling in your career. All right, so just to recap, we talked about deadline, we talked about time frame, and we talked about purpose for tasks and goals. So just to recap, tasks have a time frame of anywhere from 1 to 14 days. Deadline, yes, absolutely hard and firm. And the purpose of a task is to give you tactical progress. All right, then we talked about goals. We actually talked a little bit about two different kinds of goals. We blended some old videos and yeah, last week's video as well. So we talked about time frame on goals is going to be anywhere from 30 days for your short-term goals all the way up to, we say, 18 months with regards to that keystone goal. Deadline, typically yes, and then it depends a lot on you and what you're actually working to achieve. That keystone goal may or may not have a deadline, and actually that's going to tie into what we're talking about next today. Purpose of those goals and the keystone goal is to give you direction and focus. Moving up the ladder, as we say again, is now I want to talk about what we're going to talk about today. It gets a couple different names. Sometimes we refer to this as working on your vision when we're working with our one-on-one coaching clients through either PACT or impact programs. Some people have referred to this as the chief aim. So again, we talk about time frame, we talk about deadline, and we talk about purpose. So time frame on your, I'm going to call it the vision for the purpose of today's video, is anywhere from 2 to 5 years, okay? We want to have a vision for where you see yourself 2 to 5 years down the road. Specifically, what's the vision you have for your ideal life, both personally and professionally, in that 2 to 5 year time frame? Now, time frame, it matters and it doesn't matter, because I'm going to talk about why in a second with regard to the purpose. As far as a deadline, not at all, right? There's no such thing as, I shouldn't say there's no such thing as a deadline, but really the purpose, and the reason is because of the purpose. And the purpose of the vision, the purpose of the chief aim, is to instill unwavering resolve for you to get there. Okay, so that's why I say a deadline doesn't really have that, or a time frame. Yeah, yes and no. Deadline, not necessarily. As long as you've got unwavering resolve to be working towards that vision, then I'm less concerned with the time frame it takes for you to get there. Reason being, if you've got a really clear vision for what you really want, and you've learned all about this from some of the videos that Roger shared earlier, right? You understand how to tap into the power of your subconscious. And when you've got that clear picture or that vision for what it is you really want, that subconscious will start going to work chasing that down to make that happen for you. This is why the time frame isn't super relevant, because sometimes that subconscious, that elephant, goes to work for you so quickly that in some cases, we've had people that in as little as 2 weeks have realized that they started living their vision just by virtue of having that clearly defined. Savannah, if you're watching this, that's for you. Other people, we talk about time frame and it's a 5 or 7 or further down the path vision. It's okay, because when you have clarity, that elephant will go to work on it, and sometimes that happens in 2 or 3 or 4. So it's okay to think 5 years down the road, knowing that your elephant is so strong, it'll start to work on that, and it might get you that result in way less time. Right? I talk about unwavering resolve. Here's a real life example of what a vision is and why it's important. I was having a conversation with a coaching client just this morning, and we were talking about crafting a vision statement and the importance of having a clear picture for what it is you really want. Think about your vision. Think about that like a cookbook, right? If you've made something out of a cookbook, the best, most popular recipes, they've always got a picture for what the end result looks like. And then the ingredients and the directions are all below it. If you think about that, if you operate out of a cookbook, I'm betting that you've tried cooking the stuff that has a picture first, because you have a clear image of what it is you're trying to achieve. You have a clear image for the meal or the dish that you're trying to make. The recipes that just start with butter, sugar, salt, you're not going to dive into those with as much enthusiasm. Okay, let's do this. Let me back up. Let's talk about an apple pie recipe. If you go to the cookbook and you see an apple pie recipe and it's got a great picture of this gorgeous brown crust, and maybe the food photographer is so good he got the steam coming off, right? And there's maybe a scoop of ice cream on top because it's apple pie a la mode. You're going to look at that picture and you're going to get so excited about creating that dish and baking that pie. Go to that exact same page without a picture and you go right to reading the instructions. And you read right about it's going to take you a couple of hours to get this done. And the first ingredients are butter, sugar, salt, flour. And if you're even remotely paying attention to your diet and your well-being, you're going to go, oh no, not a chance we're diving into this. That's the difference between having a clear vision and just diving into the tactics that we talked about earlier. So again, vision, unwavering resolve is why that exists, to help move you towards where you're trying to go, to get further down the path in life. Now, I'm going to wrap it up in our next video talking about your dream, which is the last big piece of the puzzle, and then we're going to put it all together in something we like to call the circles talk. So, drop a comment below. If you haven't already, by the way, like and subscribe this video. Share this with all of your friends. Down in the comments below, drop in what is your chief aim or what's your vision. Give us one aspect of the vision you're working towards in your life, be it personal or professional. I love seeing what people share, and I look forward to seeing you in 168 hours.